Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So we got to talk about the whole Jordan Poole Chris Paul trade, because I'm just gonna be honest, the Chris Paul trade was a secret genius in a way. I'm gonna call it what it is. It was secret genius, and the reason that it was secret genius is because the Jordan Poole trade opened up so many options for the Golden State Warriors that they otherwise wouldn't have had prior. And there was a lot of people, including myself, when this trade originally happened, who was like, why would they trade Jordan Poole for a 38-year-old Chris Paul? Like, what is this providing that Jordan Poole wasn't? You know what I'm saying? And I think we all knew the answer to that in some way, shape, or form, but it was a strange trade for the Warriors. Because it's like, first it was D'Angelo Russell, then they traded D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins, which has worked out phenomenal for them. Then they like, you know what, we're going to trade Jordan Poole for Chris Paul. And I think the reasons they did this was pretty obvious. It was obvious that the team chemistry was fucked up between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. Arguably cost them a championship. If you were to ask Stephen Curry, I think he would tell you the same thing. I think it cost them a championship. On top of it, Jordan Poole is a guy that doesn't play defense very well. He was I don't even think it's arguable. He was easily the worst defender on the Warriors. Like, I'm just gonna call it what it is. Like, Jordan Poole defensively was like that of a wet paper bag. It was like pissing in the fucking wind on defense. Okay. He just was not good at defending anybody. The dude got beat every single fucking time. And on top of it, you throw in there like the team morale issues with Draymond Green and stuff like that, where like Steph Curry's got to go address shit on the bench in the playoffs to Jordan Poole because he's just being a salty fuck. And not for nothing, man, but if you've played sports before, like, this happens all the time. Like, you get into scuffles with teammates. It happens, okay? Like, you're not from New York if you've never played pickup basketball and have never gotten into, like, a minor fucking scuffle with a teammate, okay? Like, I think you're, like, it's almost like a rite of passage in New York if you play basketball, okay? And the fact of the matter is, like, you have those moments and you move on. Okay? Like, I've played with people who have literally been fist fighting each other, and then like 5 minutes later, they're being great fucking teammates, and they're dapping each other up, and fucking, yeah, we're fucking, like, and suddenly your team starts winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just get the shit out of the way and you move on. It happens all the time. But Jordan Poole could not let it go. And we all knew Steph was going to choose Draymond Green over Jordan Poole. Everyone in their motherfucking knew that. Okay? But the one thing Bob Myers did before he left the Warriors was give them salary cap flexibility like you don't even fucking know. Okay? Because that is what the Chris Paul trade provided for the Warriors that they otherwise didn't have before with Jordan Poole on their roster. You look at their roster now, this year their payroll is $206 million. Next year it's $170. But the cool thing about Chris Paul's contract is it's not fully guaranteed. It's only partially guaranteed. So they're going to ride Chris Paul out for this entire season, pay him $30 million. Then, this upcoming offseason, Klay Thompson is an unrestricted free agent. And Chris Paul, you can cut him and pay him $15 million to go fuck off. He's going to be 39. You know what I'm saying? Like, in NBA years, at that point, you're old, okay? And Steph Curry's 35, but you look at the stuff around Steph Curry. Steph Curry's 35, Draymond Green is 33, Andrew Wiggins is 28, Klay Thompson is 33, Gary Payton II is 30, Brandon Podziemski is 20, who I think is going to be fucking phenomenal for them. Jonathan Kuminga is 20, Moses Moody is 21. Granted, yeah, they have Corey Joseph, who's 32, but he's probably not going to be on the roster after this upcoming season. They have Dario Saric, who's 29, Trace Jackson Davis, and Lester Quintos, who aren't even contracted. They're two-way players. But the fact of the matter is the Warriors are still a relatively young team, and they still have the ability to just have a bunch of options, okay? Klay Thompson's an unrestricted free agent this upcoming offseason, and if they cut Chris Paul, you're looking at $51 million in just freed up salary cap space they're going to have. And $51 million is enough money to either A, bring back Klay Thompson, or B, fuck Klay Thompson and go sign somebody else. And I hate to say fuck Klay Thompson. I really do. Because he's a splash bro, okay? He's won a lot of fucking rings with Curry and Draymond. But the fact of the matter is, Klay Thompson's still a good player. But is he worth $40 million at 33 years old? $40 million a year? Probably not. Now, I do think the Warriors have the ability to bring back Klay Thompson on a cheaper deal, maybe in the $30 million range. But the thing is, the Warriors have all types of options this upcoming offseason. With $51 million, potentially, maybe even more, of freed up salary cap space you're going to have, because Gary Payton II does have a player option. I think he's going to opt into it. But the fact of the matter is, you can go out there and get whoever the fuck you want. You could get a DeMar DeRozan. You could get, I don't know, Giannis isn't a free agent until 2025. But the fact of the matter is, if you're the Warriors, this opens up all types of possibilities for you that I feel like a lot of people are just missing. And on top of it, like you got teams like the Bulls and the Raptors who are maybe going to consider rebuilding this upcoming season by the trade deadline. Buddy Hield is going to be a guy that, like, the Warriors might have interest in, that they could maybe get what Klay Thompson provides just at a cheaper price. You know, like maybe instead of paying Klay Thompson $100 million a year, or, you know, 120, 130 million over the next 3 or 4 years, you can bring in Buddy Hield and pay him 4 years 80, 4 years 85, 4 years 90. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get sort of what Klay Thompson provides, just at a cheaper price. You know, the fact of the matter is, man, Jordan Poole was worth a max contract. He's a max contract player, just not for the fucking Warriors. And that's what I think the Warriors knew. That's what the Warriors knew, is the idea. It's like, Jordan Poole, great player, max contract player, not the guy to help us win a championship. Like, I think that's what it was, because his defense was fucking horrendous. And I don't think it's going to get any better in Washington either, by the way. Like, I think Jordan Poole is going to be a shot chucker in Washington, and that's fine. He can do that there because they're a bad team. And he's probably going to average like 26, 28 a game, maybe. Or maybe 24 to 26, a little more realistic, because he's got Kyle Kuzma as a teammate. But the fact of the matter is, the Warriors put themselves in a great spot to have $51 million in freed up salary cap space this upcoming offseason and get whatever the fuck they want. Bob Myers gave the Golden State Warriors, I think, a very nice parting gift. I know it looks like shit now, and yes, trading for Chris Paul is probably not going to result in a championship for them. I don't know how much better or worse the team's going to be with Chris Paul. I'm going to assume that they're going to be worse. But the fact of the matter is, like, they're going to have the cap space. Like, yeah, are they going to be over the second apron? Most likely. Like, yeah, if you go out there and try to get yourself a guy like Zach LaVine or a Pascal Siakam or someone like that, then yeah, you're gonna be over the second apron. I'm just gonna call it what it is. But you'll be over the second apron and competing for a fucking championship again. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing here, is the idea that trading for Chris Paul gave them the salary cap flexibility to do something like that. And like I said, you look at teams like Chicago, you look at teams like Toronto, maybe they want to trade an OG Anunoby. Maybe they're going to want to trade a Pascal Siakam. Maybe if you're the Bulls, you're going to want to trade a DeMar DeRozan. Maybe you're going to want to trade a Zach LaVine or something like that. You know, like, it's not outside of the realm to say, like, hey, Chicago has decided Lonzo's finished. We're tanking. Like, we're full on fucking tank mode. You know, give us Chris Paul, we'll send you DeMar DeRozan. Okay? Let us be absolutely ass and tank it. Because, like, I just think to myself also, like, you could get Chris Paul in there to mentor Kobe White. I think that would be a great thing for them. Yeah, you're going to pay him $30 million to do it. But the fact of the matter is, like, you will suck, and your point guard of the future in Kobe White will have a great fucking mentor on the bench for him. Right? Like, that's not outside of the realm of possibility. Yeah, if you're the Warriors, you might have to throw in a pick, but there's going to be teams at the trade deadline that become sellers. Like, I'm just going to call it, like, even the Pacers on a guy like Buddy Hield, maybe even Miles Turner, they become sellers. And it's just the idea, it's like, yeah, you know what? Do I think the Pacers are going to trade Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, either one of them, for Chris Paul? Absolutely not. I just want to get that out of the way earlier, even though I just said that. But, like, there are going to be teams out there selling that will take on Chris Paul to maybe dump a bad contract or to maybe go full tank mode and just tank for a draft pick. There's going to be teams out there that fucking do that. And there's going to be a team, I don't know who, but there's going to be a team that will probably take on Chris Paul's contract for 1 year if it means getting rid of a shitty long-term contract or a guy that just doesn't fit their timeline. Something of the sort, okay? So that's the reason I'm making this video, is because the Warriors are still going to be a dynasty a year down the road from now. It doesn't look great right now. On paper, don't look great. I get it. But come this season's trade deadline, okay, they're going to try to trade Chris Paul for somebody. If they can't do that, they just cut him in the offseason. And then Klay Thompson, like I said, unrestricted free agent, get whoever you want. So remember that. There's a secret genius behind what Bob Myers did. So anyway, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I would love to hear your guys' opinions on this. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report and out of this motherfucker. And also, this doesn't include the idea that the salary cap table also goes up next season again. So they'll have more than $51 million in freed up salary cap space. So just remember, Warriors are going to be star hunting next offseason. So anyway, adios.